Hey folks, Joshua here. Welcome back to Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, where we have cleared Regel's little test at the Hell Knight Outpost and are now preparing to make our way to the Ivory Sanctum. We've been delaying this for a while, but I believe it's time. After that, I don't know what we're going to do, but probably work on the Crusade. Yeah, probably work on the Crusade. Anyway, let's head out back to Dresden. And then I believe we have a group of children who want to meet with us? Yeah, let's find out what this is about. Several teenagers dressed in rags stand before you. Their dirty clothes make it clear that they have traveled far to get here. A skeptical Anevia leads the procession. Oh, looky who we have here. They've come all the way from Mendev. It's a miracle they didn't end up in a demon's maw. I'd give them all a thick ear and send them home, but I guess I felt sorry for the poor kids. They were so eager to see you.
Eager as anything we were,
says a slender girl with short hair.
We've heard so much about you. How brave and kind you are, how you help everyone else, defeat the demons, and always follow your heart, no matter what anybody says. We want to fight demons just like you do. We want to be free crusaders.
You didn't ask your parents for permission, did you?
Oh, we don't have parents,
says a pale-faced young gnome.
We are orphans, all of us. Klena's mother was a priestess in a crusader party, but she died. And the cultists killed my parents. We've all got stories like that. Klena and me grew up in an orphanage at the Temple of Abadar, Nerosiad. There was nothing good in that place. Just rules, routines and stuff. The only priestess who liked us even a little bit was Narada. The rest just barked orders at us and doled out punishments. We've left nothing good behind, put it that way.
Early sunset? Do you have anything to say? Dealing with teenagers is hardly my domain, but I'll offer my opinion. Half measures won't do in this situation. You need to spell things out in black and white if they're to understand at all. How young are they? It says teenagers, but like, are we talking 17 or 13? It's hard to see them. They look pretty damn small. The gnome seems taller than the other ones. Why are they so tiny? Okay, what's Orlan's response? They're children. They can't go fight on the front lines. I guess the best option here is number 3. Yeah, we can't let them fight. And the reason for that isn't just sentiment. It's like, if adult crusaders watch children die in battle, it will completely disrupt any sense of discipline, or like they'll do anything to protect them, right? They'll abandon their orders, they'll break formations. It just does, it's not feasible to allow child soldiers. So I suppose you could become free squires and help Aranka, Ilkis, and Wallflower in my court. One day, it will be your turn to battle evil, but I hope we win this war long before that day comes.
At least that'll be more fun than cleric training,
mutters the gnome. Suddenly, his frown is replaced with a wide grin.
But I've heard about all the wonders of your court. Is it true that you have a little dragon and a magic garden? We'll be able to help the free crusaders that live there and defend ourselves if the demons attack. Yeah, let's go, guys.
I'll make sure they get there in one piece, grumbles Anevia. I have no idea how this is going to play out. Those helpers of yours on the ridge are still pretty much teenagers themselves. Then again, they've been so lucky so far. Desna herself must be watching over them. Orlan, just in case, I'll send off a letter to this orphanage they did a runner from and tell them what's what. No doubt the place is in an uproar. As for you scamps, follow me. Pontanevia will tell you all you need to know about your new home. Okay, oh, and here comes Lady Konomi. Commander, the capital needs you to take decisive action. There has been a major scandal. The nation of Andoran, our diplomatic party, has sent its army to help the crusade. However, this apparently generous gesture is nothing more than political provocation. The Andorans want to prevent the emerging rapprochement between Mendev and Cheliax, of which I've previously informed you. They've deliberately sent their army to our territory without seeking Nerosian's approval. If Mendev accepts his help, it will cool our relations with Eisger and their suzerain, Cheliax. The Royal Council that is to say, expects you to reject Andoran aid. Direct them towards Her Majesty's court. They're welcome to negotiate with the capital. Unfortunately, we can't disregard the decisions made by Her Majesty and her council. Soziel pauses, then suddenly gives you a sly smile. But those Andorans didn't come here empty-handed. They brought weapons and supplies. Let them share those with us, since Nerosian forbids them from joining our army. Darren regards Lady Konomi with feigned disapproval. Come now, Lady Konomi, all this suspicion. I'm sure that the Andorans are driven by nothing more than benevolence and concern for our collective future. We simply must accept them like dear friends. If the whole deal is about them being Andorans, they should just stop being them. Take down the banners, call themselves mercenaries, problem solved. What is the gist of this political conflict? Eisger is a protectorate of Cheliax, and Andoran and Cheliax have a long history of feuds. For the Andorans, the highest values are freedom and equality, and for the Cheliaxians, it's order and hierarchy. It's as if the two countries were made to be at odds. The fact that they're both allied with Mendev doesn't stop them from settling scores at any opportunity. For the time being, Nerosian considers it more advantageous to cooperate with Igorian, the capital of Cheliax. No one's cutting ties with Andoran. No, it's just the relations have cooled somewhat. It's a common occurrence in the politics of major powers. That's why Nerosian is insisting that you provide... what is this? That is why Nerosian insisted on you inviting Eisger, Cheliax's protectorate. When you accepted their forces, the Andorans resorted to a provocation. Either Nerosian receives their help, incurring Igorian's discontent, or it risks a diplomatic row. The council chose the row. Let's see what my council has to say. Hopefully the advice you're about to hear won't lead to an undesirable war. Soziel, what solution do you propose? I come from Andoran myself, and as Sheldon is my witness, I wish I could offer another solution. We've sworn an oath to Her Majesty. If Nerosian doesn't wish to see Andoran troops in Dresden, we have no right to invite them. But no one can forbid us from accepting their help in the form of weapons and supplies. After all, this war is not just some political conflict, it's a battle for the fate of Galarian. Everyone's entitled to do their part. What touching bashfulness. You're proposing we behave like the daughter of a noble family who wants to give herself to a dashing bard, but keep her maiden honor. Darren, are you sure we should accept Andoran's help? Does it become us to reject the aid of our valiant allies who are on their way here to share the burden of this holy war? I sense the sins of pride, envy, and yes, a whiff of covetousness too, coming from the direction of Nerosian. But there can be no place for sin on a crusade. Lady Konomi shudders pointedly. Don't forget about the sin of slander, Count. Enough tomfoolery. Your jests will lead to a diplomatic disaster. Perhaps, perhaps not. One thing I can say for sure, this was a bold move by Andoran. They're willing to invest much in this cause. Our cause. I see no reason to refuse. I never was fond of Cheliax anyway. I don't like their practices. Or their wine. Woljif, what were you saying about mercenaries? I know a guy or two with connections in merc circles. Bit creepy, but they keep their word. It'll take 5 minutes for them to turn an Andoran army into a merc company. They'll dig up some distinguished name of some currently retired group, fix you up with banners, uniforms, and record the company's arrival in the books. Even the fussiest clerk won't realize that they're not well-respected dogs of war, but a detachment of Andoran regulars. And just like that, under neutral banners, we've accepted our new friends into our army. Clever, huh? Lady Konomi, why should I refuse Andorran's help? We're fighting demons. Firstly, because it's the wish of the capital. Lady Konomi falls silent for a few moments, letting the weight of her arguments sink in. And secondly, you do understand that this situation is larger and more complex than what you could see from Dresden? It would be inconvenient for us to quarrel with Cheliax at the moment, and Andorran is pushing us to do exactly that. I can promise you that Mendev will compensate you for your losses. We're guided not by consideration of our own benefit, but of the good of your army and the entire crusade. Nuh-uh, no dice. When they give you something, you take it, especially freebies. Don't bother feeding us that garbage about compensating us later. The authorities do it whenever it's fleecing time, and then what? The people get nothing back. Compensating my tail. Okay. This one, I'm not sure. See, the part of the problem is I think Lady Konomi might actually have a point this time, but she's been so hostile and demanding that it's hard to, like, go along with her. What are the choice effects here? Soziel's option is okay. We get 6,000 finance points, and our shield bearers, our champions, our spearmen. It doesn't say recruited, blah, blah, blah. It just says they gain it. What is the Andorran equipment feat? A 3% bonus to maximum HP and 6,000 finance points. That's not terrible. We have champions, we have shield bearers. We have spearmen. The spearmen in particular could use an HP bump. We have some hound masters, I think. No, we wanted hound masters, but we don't have any. So a 3% bump to HP isn't terrible, especially for the spearmen. And 6,000 finance points isn't bad. If we just straight up accept Andorran's help, we get 28 hedge knights. That's not bad, but we can recruit these. And then paladins, the only ones we have here are hedge knights and a couple of paladins. We gain the excellent horses feat, a +3 bonus to AC. If the Andorrans join us under neutral banners, we get the hedge knights, and all mercenary units gain the attracted by fame feat, a +1 bonus to AC and all saving throws. That's not terrible. And getting 28 free hedge knights isn't bad. What about if we do what Lady, whatever her name is, says? We get cuirassiers. What is this unit? This is a cavalry unit, so we'd have this group. Huge tanky cavalry unit. Yeah, extremely tanky. Weak attack, but a hugely tanky unit. 30 champions, 30 marksmen, and then crusade. But I'd rather have one of the passive benefits here. Either attracted by fame, excellent horses, or Andorran equipment. This one's pretty tough. We can get more hedge knights, and 1 AC isn't that great. I kind of like the HP bump here. Merc units all gain +1 bonus to AC and saving throws isn't bad. Getting our champions, shield bearers, and spearmen an HP bump isn't bad, and the 6,000 finance points are welcome. Plus, from the way that Soziel talked, this is like this is like the queen won't be too miffed at this, like, because he's all about we swore an oath. All right, I think we'll go with Soziel on this one. Tell the Andorrans we'll accept their weapons and supplies, but not the soldiers. Commander, you've already demonstrated your defiance of the Royal Council. Do not cross the line that separates defiance from an open attack on Mendev's interests. The Royal Council will not forgive you for it. Is that a threat? Merely a warning. Your actions, on the other hand, are indeed threatening to Mendev. Her Majesty has entrusted her kingdom to the Royal Council. It's their duty to oppose those who hurt her interests. By turning them against you, you leave them no choice but to start hurting you. Yeah, I don't like that at all, Konomi. I don't know how you haven't figured out how to read me, but this is not the way to do business. You need to use the carrot more than the stick with me, and you're too stupid to do it. Decision's been made. It's final. Lady Konomi's hand twitches in frustration. There will be consequences. Severe and unpleasant consequences. Will do. The Andorans won't be glad to hear it, of course, but they'll understand. And our warriors could use new blades and armor. That will be all. I hope you're all pleased with the work of the Diplomatic Council. I doubt that the capital will henceforth be inclined to involve you in matters of politics, Commander. You may give your demon war your undivided attention. What a twat. She's terrible at her job. Okay. So now, I've got a bunch of stuff I need to sell, and then we need to head out to the Ivory Labyrinth, I think. Yes, okay. So... yeah, there's nothing else to see or do. So I'll head to the temple and sell some stuff there. And then we'll, and I'll do, yeah, I think what I'll do here is I'll cut the video so that I can take 20 minutes to get set up. I've shown enough of inventory management and sales and stuff. So we'll cut the video here, and when we come back, we'll be ready to head out. I think we're leaving, we're probably leaving, yeah, we're leaving Regil behind and getting Arushale back into the mix here. I could also go around and talk to people. There's a few people who have things to say, but I don't think I'm going to do that this episode. I think we want to get out on the road, so we'll be back in a bit. All right, here we are. All the administrivia is done. I think we'll start by heading to the Court of Whimsy. I don't know if there's anything that's going to happen there, but we need a rest for our new party configuration, so let's do that. Also, I guess the squires will be there now. Okay, nothing interesting happens. I guess the young crusaders are here. Do they have anything to say?
Finally, we're crusading.
Okay. Oh, I don't know if I've spoken to Cal Five Knives recently. I like it better than in Cheliax. Demons aren't as cunning as devils. Okay. Well, they're all running around doing their thing. No events kicked off, so we'll take our rest and we'll head out. I don't think we need any food. We don't really need anything here. A world with no walls. A sky with no ceiling. I liked it better in the caves, where I knew every twist and turn, and every place to expect prey or an ambush. Hey. So we're all rested up and ready to head out. Let's get set up for the day with things like people on...
We'll make things right.
their mounts.
Yes?
Okay, I need to go find this. Here we go.
Rely on me.
I'll make my own legend.
Do our daily buffs. And we will head out. Okay, so we're on our way to the Ivory Labyrinth. We met the lady in Wintersun, the female demon in Wintersun who was keeping everybody there in that strange alternate reality where they saw their enemies as friends and their friends as enemies. She awaits us here, so we have to head there and find out what the deal is and probably fight and kill her, but it is what it is. Let's make our way down here. A day and 17 hours, that's fine. Okay, so we did just flip over to the 17th. Let's take a quick look at what we can do here. We were building an inn somewhere. What do we got? We're also looking to do some recruiting. Yeah, we're low on material points here. We're building up finances. No events or decrees, I don't think. Morale. The fate of Soul Shear. I don't need a better glaive, really. Still working on this for another 13 days. Okay, so in that case, let's check out recruitment. All right, so we've got the headhunters. I think we have some of these somewhere. No, we don't. Did I put them in Nysa's army? I did. They're heading out to Gloomy Gorge. Should I pick up a couple more? Yeah, I should probably pick up a couple more headhunters here. I think that makes sense. We can afford this now. I don't know that I want to start building up church guards just yet. They are expensive and they don't seem that great to me. Dispel seems hard to use. Aura of Onslaught's a little bit better. 1 round of +3 to attack if they're surrounded by allies. They have adequate attacks and pretty decent tankiness as well for a spellcasting unit, but they don't have a ranged attack, so I'm not sure. I probably do want to build them up since they're recruitable, and that means I can get a big stack of them. But what is this 6 going to cost me? 2,400? Yeah, they're expensive. I could get the Hell Knights, or I could get more of this ranged unit. I think I want more of the ranged unit. Let's get that recruited. Oh, I need a place to put them, huh? Okay, there's the headhunters. Let's get them... split off. Have them join up. Travel. Okay. Join up. There we go. Nysa gets a little bit stronger, and we can continue our route towards Gloomy Gorge. And we'll finish up the next day. All right. Back to the party. They have some traveling to do. Let's continue. We'll evade the random encounter. We get enough of those that we can't. Okay, now we're forced to fight. And did we already hit the 17th? Were we just on the 17th, or we'll check? All right, what is this fight going to be? What are we dealing with here? Okay, so we did win the initiative race by a little bit. We've got Grown Nabasu, and the Durachni who can stun us. Wenduog probably one-shots this guy. So what do I want to do here? Probably help out a little bit. Let me come right up next to it and try a breath weapon attack. What can I get? Just the 2? All right. Hey, not bad. 25 points of damage on the Durachni and a little bit on the Nabasu. Wenduog. Yes. It's flat-footed, so go all out. Let's get the kill. Very nice. Unfortunately, this guy's not in range. He gets to act. What are you going to try to do here? You go after Darren? Okay. Sela and Justice can wrap you up. Nice work. There's another one somewhere off screen that we didn't know about.
I'm done with you.
Okay, Darren, they're all going after Darren for some reason, but that's fine. I can get to you. 8 an opportunity attack, but that's okay too, because we get the kill. There's more of them hiding out in the shadows, it looks like. Are they all going for Darren? Yeah, they're all going for Darren. They're all trying to take out the healer. Interesting. Ember. We know what you're going to do. Scorching Ray. Nice crit, 69. Who's left? This guy? Kill this guy.
I will resist.
Good job. Okay. Not a bad encounter. I remember at the start of Act 3, these guys, like, the kinds of enemies we were seeing were terrifying. But at level 12, halfway to level 13, we're very, very strong, so it's all good. See you heal up the rest of the way, and then let's be on our way, shall we? Okay, I wasn't clear whether we had done our movements on the 17th or the 16th, so I'll swap over to the Crusade for a second here, just to see if we can move Nysa's party. We cannot, okay. So then we want to wait for the 18th here. Continue, stop, 18th, go to Nysa. Yes, we're planning to fight this demon army. So we have a bunch of giant spiders here. They're special forces, 51 hit points, 15 AC. They're immune to mind affecting, compulsion, charmed, and web. They have a crummy attack, but they have this web ability to reduce speed, lock people in, stop them from moving. Fortunately, we have 3 ranged attackers here, so I'm not too concerned about it, and they have a low initiative. And we have Nysa's abilities as well. I don't know if we can get this fight today. Yeah, it looks like we can. All right, let's fight this army. Okay, we do win the initiative. Now, these guys are special forces and they can throw their webs. Wait, can they throw their webs? Is there a range on this? One enemy creature within any range. No. Or yes, they can throw those webs. So they don't have to move. The trap is probably not the option here. It's probably burning liquid followed by stone throw. Let's open with... They don't have any resistance against fire? No. Let's open with a burning liquid here. 115. Okay. Nice. Now the marksmen are very, very powerful. And we have a lot of them. They may be able to one-shot one of these. So yeah, let's focus the rangers, who are pretty weak. We'll take out 12 to 18. The marksmen can one-shot these groups. Yeah, they're very strong. 8,746 damage. You'll love to see it. Perfect. Okay, now we have the hedge knights. The farther they move, the more damage they do. We might be able to finish this group with them. Very nice. And then we have our headhunters here. They've got a javelin. That's not going to do too much, but something. That's good. And you are going to web, right? Yeah, that's a terrible decision. Back to the top, and oh, that was a mistake, but our marksman can finish the job. Okay, 0 casualties. Love to see it. So the main thing we have to worry about is enemy generals one-shotting our ranged units. That we still have to be careful of. The grove had long been dry and dead. The spiders that once occupied it have been slaughtered. Monstrous web cocoons hang from the branches containing the remains of their victims, and a certain number of useful items that miraculously were not dissolved in the spider's corrosive drool. We picked up the chainmail of the dragonfly. It's +3 medium armor, Can be activated once per day to grant all allies in a 30-foot radius a +1 insight bonus to attack and damage rolls against demons for 10 rounds. I quite like that. I don't know if we have anyone who's actually going to wear it, but seems good. And now, okay, so we have two potential fights on our hands. One is with this demon army. The Minotaur axe throwers are ranged, which is troubling, but we can deal with that. They don't have any damage reduction. They're tanky-ish. I think there's... The Vanguard here is melee. And then what is this? Penaji. Okay, they've got the DR. They've got 5 DR. Their spellcasting unit. They've got energy resistances and a couple of immunities here. They have blow through. They have a personal ability, an action, Thunder Tread. Unit using this ability receives a -4 penalty to attack for the next round and deals attack damage to all enemy units within a radius of 2 squares. They've got Chain Spear, medium range attack, and Phantasmal Killer. Can just cause a bunch of creatures to die. So yeah, if we end up fighting this army, the Penaji are the priority target. They have to go down ASAP. What kind of initiatives are we looking at here? 3, 0, 0. I've got 4, 4, 3, 4. A lot of rolls equal to the best roll, so we probably win the initiative. But yeah, the Penaji would have to go first. And then here at this fortress that we're trying to find, we have zombies, not that hard to kill, and plagued mastodons, much more dangerous. Again, we have a priority target there. Okay. Let's move out here and see where this path takes us. Quick save first. Okay, we've located the broken cart. We can procure reagents there. Okay, it's going to be a fight with the army first. Penaji have to go down. They're extremely dangerous. Let's see if we win the initiative. We do. We get quite a lot of value out of that. Okay. There's 22 of them. Let's take a look. Now, you have energy resistance, but you don't have resistance to this. So if we took a look at burning fluid, we'd kill 2 to 19. If we look at the stone throw, that's 1 to 12. I think we'll burning liquid here. We get 10, okay. Keep working these guys down. I don't want them doing anything. Marksman can finish them. Okay, next up is the ranged unit, the axe throwers. Let's work on them. We can finish them off with the headhunters. Now, this does 2,000 damage. Yeah, we're okay here. Let's see what the Minotaurs do. Kills 4 of our units and then dies. I like how it passes through the night. Okay, another good fight. We'll wait a little bit more, but I do want this fortress to build up more of my economy. The monsters that opposed the Crusaders were truly abominable. Their bodies manifested weird mutations, extra eyes, unpaired limbs, mouths in their bellies, and withered, half-grown heads helplessly dangling on their shoulders. The leader of this heinous cohort was just a pile of moving flesh who struggled to retain its humanoid appearance. Even as it died, it continued to stir a monstrous brew in a large, rotund cauldron. Shuddering with disgust, the Crusaders peered inside the cauldron and managed to retrieve some of its hideous contents. Chunks of bodies belonging to demons, mortals, and other unknown creatures, twitching convulsively, still alive. The soldiers did not know what to do with this vile trophy and delivered it to the commander. We picked up the Voracious Jumble. The mage Zymus was a famous adventurer and wicked fighter. His feats, now seldom recalled, were as countless as his scars. Zymus was not driven by thirst for fame, but by a rare sense of responsibility inherent to his nature. Therefore, the day when the brave mage lost his arm in a fight with a werewolf became his tragedy. How could he, so strong and solid, retire now, when so many still needed his help? Without a second thought, Zymus took an arm from a fallen enemy to replace his own. Thus, his decline began. For years, again and again, Zymus took the limbs of defeated enemies to heal his wounds. Zymus turned from a hero into a monster. It was rumored that there was no actual flesh left of the body he had been born with. First, Zymus was shunned, then driven away, and finally declared a monster. The mage fled into the wasteland to become an ominous legend people scare their children with. Okay. Not sure what we do with that. Maybe show it to Storyteller? I don't know. So how do we cross into this next region to get to... At this point... There's no way for us to continue along either of these paths. This, I guess the party could travel, but for some reason the army can't. We have 4 movement left. That's a little confusing. Why wouldn't we be able to do anything there? Is it because we have an... maybe it's because we have an army behind enemy lines here? Is that a thing? I actually don't know. Maybe we have to kill them. Maybe until we clear the region, we can't proceed outwards. It's a theory. I don't know if that's how it works, but I don't see another reason that we can't cross this border here and get over here. Huh, that's upsetting. Yeah, we can't go north, we can't go east. It'll only let us go south. That's weird. Okay, still, a good day's work. 2 armies taken out. And Nysa here should be pretty close to hitting level 8. Not that close, huh? Need another 10,000 experience. That's like 3 more fights. Still, this has become a very powerful level 8 army. I like that. Happy about that. Okay, we've gotten some crusade management stuff, an event or a decree. The Andorrans were disheartened by the commander's refusal to accept them into his army. However, spite did not prevail over duty. When they turned around to head back, they left plenty of supplies, equipment, and weapons for the Crusaders. After all, the war against the demons is more important than political squabbles. Okay, so all our units should get the benefit there. We can't really build anything, but we have lots of money. So let's go look at our recruits. Okay. I could get more Hell Knights now. I could start building this up. I don't really love the champions. They die so quickly. They die really quickly. They're really flaky. Hold on. I think we'll move the champions over here and stop recruiting them because they're kind of garbage. Sharpshooters, Yama Azadas, 2 paladins. I can start building up a force of church guards. I don't think I need more Hell Knights right now. All right, let's spend some money on this. Start building up our church guard force. These guys are pretty tanky, lots of hit points and AC. They're slow, but they empower the people around them and they have a dispel, which I don't know if anybody else does, so that's okay. I was going to fight with this army, it'd probably look like this. These guys have to be frontliners, but they can have the clerics behind them in case they get hurt. Got spearmen and the stone infantry are probably the vanguard. Then we've got 2 ranged and a spellcaster. It's not a great army, but it's okay. And we can start building up our church guards this way. I don't need more footmen. I think I'm going to save the funds here. I don't think I need more Hell Knights right now, and I do want to build buildings and whatnot. So yeah, I think we'll hold off on that for now. These guys are irregulars. So are these guys. We don't really know what to do with them. I might end up dismissing them, but I still don't know how that works because I don't see a way to use the reserves. I don't know. Okay, that feels good for the crusade. Let's go back to the party. Yeah, okay. We're on our way to the Ivory Sanctum. Keep moving through the fatigue. Random encounter while we're fatigued. Not great, but shouldn't be too bad.
I won't let you hurt my friends.
Okay, we've got a nice clump there for some sort of area attack. Darren won the initiative? Okay. Well, I guess it's a smite then. Let's do a... Let's do a maximized smite here. I don't... Yeah, there's no way I can get that thing, so we'll get these 4. Not bad. Looks like we did about 120 damage there. Yeah, everybody made their save, but we still got the damage. Okay, that helps. This guy gets to go. Rolls a nat 1 on an attack. Misses 4 attacks and does like a handful of acid damage to everybody. What a chump. Okay, these guys are missing left and right. I'm loving that. There's some hits on Wenduag. All right, Arushale's up. Next to act is this one. Let's... Do I want deadly? Yes, I have a mythic. Do I need cold iron, or has she been blessed with good? She does not have good. Let's use our cold iron ammunition here, and let's take 5 shots at this guy.
Prepare yourself.
She did eat an attack of opportunity there. Why is she taking one for every single shot? Okay, well that... I thought... Well, how many attacks of opportunity does he get? We're healing in the middle of the fight? Okay. So, Gibberleth makes attack of opportunity. 1. 2. Try to use trip against her. 3, 4. What does he get? 5 attacks of opportunity? 6? And like trips and stuff when it... No, the trip is when it hits, I guess. I guess it got to make like 5 attacks of opportunity there. That doesn't... I don't love that. I thought it was 1. Okay, not a great turn for Arushale. Ivu... You can take a bite at someone or that's it. All right. Let's see. We've got this lady down here. I think, yeah, it's fireball time for sure. Just hit these 3. That's a kill and some more damage. Love that. Wenduag killed a Gibberleth.
No match for me.
Ah, she missed the last hit. Okay. Wenduag's taking a bit of damage here, but not too much. Orlan's up. Who's left? Yeah, you can kill the Gibberleth, so let's have you go kill the Huntresses.
We won't falter.
Good job. Seal it a finish. Okay, all right. That was a little rough, but what can you expect? We're fatigued. They got the drop on us and surrounded us and won the initiative, so. All right, let's take all their stuff. Banner's healing us up a little bit. How's everyone doing? Also, you don't have any buffs. Why is that? Oh, we traveled more than 24 hours, I think.
I will prove my worth.
Does anybody have buffs? No, all the buffs are gone, and we're all exhausted. Okay. Well, then why don't we sleep here? We've got a map to sleep on so that we can buff and mount afterwards, so let's take advantage of it. At this point, we are heading into the Ivory Labyrinth, so we should get something going for that. Just gonna go here. You. And then over here, you can help cook. What do we want for our food here? Not skill checks. I feel like magic is gonna be a thing, so saving throws seems like a way to go. Yeah, we have onion soup for a +1. I guess it's onion soup. +1 to all saving throws. That looks good. Okay. Yeah, we're good.
I just thought if they all in Winter Sun just died, they wouldn't have to suffer anymore. And then I thought pain passes eventually, and that's when the strength to live on appears. It's all so complicated.
The Kellids trained to fight and die like warriors. But in the end, they were just toys in demon hands. The same thing could happen to any of us. We cannot abandon these poor people.
8 hours pass, everything. We failed to weaken the impact of corruption, but everything else was fine. She rolled a natural 3 on a DC 30. I guess we're sitting in the middle of... We're literally camped on top of a corruption vein. It's fine, it is what it is. Okay, so nobody's mounted. Let's fix that.
Thank you for inviting me on this journey.
This war
Risking
must
life
end.
and limb, facing countless dangers. Perhaps I shouldn't thank you.
There we go. Yeah, everybody's got what they need now. I could put good alignment on Arushale here. I don't think her bow doesn't count. That's probably an extra buff worth doing. Less weapon, that's... Weapon becomes magic and good aligned, and it can all critical threats against evil foes automatically confirm. Let's put one of those on. How many does she have?
We will win this war.
I like that. Yeah, all right. Let's bless Arushale's weapon. Oh no, it can't be a spell that she casts to last 24 hours. It's only Darren.
Skip the
Right.
pleasantries.
Almost made a mistake there. Then we need either a line weapon to bypass damage reduction, or we need Crusader's Edge, or both. I don't think we need the Crusader's Edge, but let's throw in a line weapon good on Arushale here. Let's add that to the spells as well. Sort by name, align weapon, good. Arushale. There we go. Okay. I think we're good. Yeah, good align for 24 hours. Perfect. All right, let's head out and make our way to the Ivory Labyrinth. Actually, since we've crossed over to the 19th here, we do have a crusade option. What is this? A new decree for relics? The fate of the voracious jumble. There's so many of these things. We're saving up to build buildings, so I don't think we spend on that right now. I'm curious if I'm right about this idea I had about why we can't cross this boundary yet. So I'm going to backtrack and deal with this army with Nysa, which means we can make this fight immediately. So they've got 285 cultists. These guys, if they get close to you, can channel negative energy. That's about it. The fire elementals can move, but I believe they're a melee unit. Yeah. Obviously immune to fire. And then what's this other thing? A rock elemental? Yeah, they're tanky. Okay. Yeah, let's do this fight. Okay. These guys are fast. These guys are slow. I'm not really worried about these two, so we'll take out the elementals first. Maybe with... Let's use our stone throw. Kills 22. Now what can the marksmen do here? Can they finish them? They can. We'll take that. You can get after them or them. Yeah, these guys are pretty tough, huh? These guys don't do a lot of damage, but there's a big stack of them. These guys do a lot more... Oh, they don't do that much damage either. Or do they? Hold on. 2 attacks with 1 to 5 damage? No, they're a defense unit. Who do I go after here? I guess we go after the elementals? Something. What are these? Our headhunters? Maybe whittle down the cultists a bit. Okay, we lose 1 hedge knight. Move you there, move you here. Okay, they're gonna go after the hedge knights. Now, let's use some burning liquid here. Okay. You can work on the cultists. I think the marksmen and the melee units can work on the earth elementals here. Yeah, they are tanky. Oh, that was a little gnarly. Okay. Let's use the Song of Seasons so these guys can heal each other and damage them. And get rid of either group here. These guys cast a spell. Let's get rid of them. I actually want to stay where I am here. Let's defend. 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 There we go. There's the heal and the kill. Perfect. 0 losses. Very nice. And we get... Ooh, is that enough to level up? I think we might have just hit level 8 for Nysa. Unexpectedly, the enemy leader's tent turns out to be shipshape and tidy. Behind glass, an Arcanamirium Magical College diploma hangs on a post. In the chest, there's a ceremonial graduation robe and several magical inventions and patents. the brainchildren of a late cultist leader. One can only speculate on the tragedies that made him lead such a wretched existence. And we picked up here, eye for an eye, a composite shortbow. It's a +3 shortbow. Whenever this +3 composite shortbow lands a hit on an enemy, the enemy suffers an additional 1d12 piercing damage. Not that good. You can build around shortbows for certain types of situations, but I don't think it's better than the +3 composite, speed composite or whatever we have on a Rochelet. Nobody else is a bow user, so that's probably gets sold. And Nysa levels up. Okay, what does she get at level 8? Scorching Ray, kind of huge. Another, and I think this one's reusable, right? A reusable ranged attack. I quite like that. So it's roughly equivalent, I think. This is power squared +5 d8. This is power squared +5 d6, and it's fire damage. I mean, we already have Burning Liquid, which is more powerful than his fire damage. So I like this. I don't know if I'm going to take it. Hold here. Not affected by the target's spell resistance. Mind affecting arcane divine. So undead it won't do anything to. Target unit cannot move or act for 2 rounds. This is a divine spell with a mind affecting effect. That could be very powerful. Now, obviously, anything that's immune to mind affecting won't be affected by it, and it costs 10 energy. But being able to shut an enemy unit down for 2 rounds is huge. This is less useful against fights with enemy generals, but very useful against fights where the enemy has some like one big powerful unit and a bunch of adds. I quite like that. Not good against undead, but very, very strong. I might pick this. And then we have heroism. 1 friendly creature within range. The target unit gains a +1 bonus to saving throws and AC, 1 point of damage reduction for 3 rounds, and also like a +8 bonus to combat morale. Yeah, that's not good enough. I think, honestly, I think I'm taking hold here. I really like the idea of like being able to shut down a powerful unit on the opponent for 2 rounds. Now, it doesn't say anything about a saving throw. It says not affected by target spell resistance. It doesn't say anything about a saving throw, but we've seen before that some of her abilities don't work the way we think they do. I believe it was Pit Trap. Doesn't say anything about a saving throw. I guess it says this ability is a trap, which implies, I guess, that they get a reflex. This is a divine spell with a mind affecting effect. I really like the idea of hold here. I'm going to pick this. Okay. Now the question becomes, with this region completely cleared, are we now able to cross through the Petrified Library into the Stone Wilds and get to this fort? I don't know. But I don't see a reason why we can't go here now. So I'll range and scout back that way a little bit. As things permit. A last day to buy things. I could pick up more Hell Knights. I don't know. 15 for 4 grand. I think I might save my resources here. Because as soon as the week clicks over, I'm going to want all 3 of these. Plus whatever could be here. Which means, I guess the other thing I should do here is my free search. Because I've decided against the Hell Knights, so what other options do I have? Okay, we do have some sharpshooters. Building up that stack could be good. And I have rangers who are currently in Setsuna's, White Nysa's army. Can I afford? Yeah, I can afford both of these. It's 5 grand. I want both. A ranged unit of Mongol sharpshooters, like 14 AC is pretty weak, but 49 hit points is better than some of them. I definitely need the rangers as well. All right, let's recruit you. And then let's grab these rangers as well. All right, I think that was the right call. The rangers need to reinforce. We need to get over to... Where's she heading? Yeah. Okay, looks good. With that, we'll go back to the party and continue our journey to the Ivory Sanctum, which we have now reached. Okay. What are we doing here? Shall we peek in and find out?
But how will they know I've arrived?
You see a little insect guy, but on the edge of the map. Okay.
A stealthy approach.
Keep moving. Keep our eyes open. Look for enemies, demons. We have we were told now we have the bone skull. We have the skull. And there's like a pile of skulls that acts as a lock on the door, I think. So we have the item from Winter Sun that we need to crack the lock and get inside. Wherever inside is. Possibly over here? Yeah, there's the pile of skulls. Okay. Not seeing any enemies. Okay, and in we go.
You're a good person. I like
I was
you.
never good at stealth, but I'll try.
Oh. The halflings are coming to join us, I guess? The Free Crusaders? Okay. Well, we have arrived at the Ivory Sanctum, and that feels like a pretty good place to take a break. So that's going to be it for this time, guys. Next time, we'll explore this place and find out what's hidden here and what threats await. But for now, I'd just like to thank you again for watching and tell you that I appreciate you guys. We'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.